Good afternoon, Central Ohio, and thanks for joining us here for another edition of our 10 Weather Impact Show. It's been a pretty nice afternoon, but also pretty windy out there today. I'm meteorologist Aaron White, and tracking the warmer temperatures that we have with those windy conditions and the sunshine here today. But I'm also tracking a 10 Weather Impact alert here for Friday as we have rain. We have potential thunderstorms coming in, looking ahead to the latter half of your Friday. That could impact the evening commute, but it could also have some impacts on some high school football. So let's go ahead and dive into that 10 weather impact forecast. Again, that impact alert here for the latter half of Friday afternoon and really for the evening into the early part of your Friday night. We're tracking rain. We're tracking a few thunderstorms as a cold front builds through central Ohio. And again, that could produce some active weather here for us as we go into your Friday. So we're watching that, but we're also watching the weekend because there's going to be another cold front coming in that's going to really knock down our temperatures as we get into Sunday and Monday, and even could bring about a few snow flurries as we head into next week. So there's a lot to talk about here in the forecast, but really the focus right now is on that next weather maker, bringing us that rain and the colder temperatures here for the end of the work week on into the weekend. But for right now, it's nice out there. We got the sun shining. We have some clouds starting to roll in here with our approaching cold front, the cold front number 1, that will bring some cooler temperatures here tomorrow. But it's going to be that next one that's going to have a big impact here by the end of the week into the weekend. But for right now, temperatures are nice and mild, 65 degrees. Winds are a little breezy, actually really breezy out of the west-southwest at 22 miles per hour. And those are sustained winds. We actually have gusts over 30 miles per hour here today. So that's been helping to bring in the mild temperatures into the mid-60s here this afternoon. And even a few of us into the upper 60s, getting closer to 70 here for today. But our temperatures will start to take a tumble as we get into this evening, back down into the 50s. And then by tonight, we are going to be dropping down into the 30s here for tomorrow morning. So it's going to be a chilly start and a big difference really from what we have this afternoon in the mid to upper 60s down to the lower to middle 30s here by tomorrow morning. But still tomorrow, looking at a nice day as we will have the sun shining and our temperatures will be back into the upper 50s here by the afternoon. So here's a look at the current picture that we have across the state as we have this band of cloud cover coming in, and right there, especially where you see that rain showing up here right there, that is the cold front that is now approaching here from the north and west, and it's also kicking in some rain, and really a lot of the active weather is going to stay to our east. The rain here across upstate New York and even some snow into parts of Canada around Ottawa, all of that staying away from us, but the trailing cold front is one of the reasons why we're seeing that wind here today. The winds out of the west-southwest ahead of the front. Once that passes, we'll see the wind switching to the north and west, ushering in the colder air here tonight into tomorrow. We'll catch a break in any active weather. We'll have a lot of sunshine tomorrow. But as we head into Friday, that's when things really start to change as we get some more clouds building in and even the chance for some rain, mainly north of I-70 here through the latter morning hours into about midday here for your Friday. Then we'll see some more scattered showers and eventually some more showers and storms developing here, especially near and south of I-70 by Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Right now, this computer projection is keeping a lot of the active weather south of Interstate 70, but I still think there's a chance here, even around the Columbus metro as we get into about 5, 6, 7 p.m. here on Friday, and more active weather developing further south with that potential that we could see some gusty winds and a lot of heavy rainfall would be the bigger concern here, with rainfall amounts over ½ inch for some locations in southern Ohio. That all clears out, and then some even bigger changes are in store looking ahead to Sunday. So we'll have the rain on Friday. Again, there is that potential for some stronger thunderstorms south of I-70 with a threat for some higher winds, potential for gusty winds up to near 60 miles per hour. But the higher threat for any really severe weather is going to stay to our south into parts of Kentucky. So again, that's for Friday. Saturday, we'll actually catch a break. We should have a little bit of sunshine, calling for partly cloudy skies and high temperatures in the upper 50s here on your Saturday. So really not a bad day, a good start to the weekend. But it's going to change. Sunday is our day of change, as we will start the day with temperatures in the upper 40s. That's in the morning because another cold front is coming in, and that's going to really knock our temperatures down. And depending on the timing of the front and the colder air and the timing of some moisture building in, we could be tracking some scattered showers and potentially, where you see the blue, some snow flurries building in here for Sunday evening, overnight into the day on Monday. And it is likely that we actually will see some lake effect snow, especially for areas near and east of Cleveland, and also for areas back into parts of Michigan. Now, while they have the lake effect snow and likely could see some accumulation, we will just see some flurries and really aren't expecting any accumulating snow here as we go into early next week. But it is about the time when we would typically see that first snow around mid-November, so it's not anything unusual, and we've actually had snow even into October, so it's bound to happen, and it's going to be happening here early next week. So whether we get a lot of snow flurry activity or not, what we for sure are going to see is some much colder temperatures here, especially looking ahead to the day on Monday, and actually even a wind chill factor, as it could feel like it's down into the teens and 20s here by Monday morning. So a big change is on the way. So despite the wind, enjoy today. Take advantage of it. Enjoy the mid-60s here this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies are expected. And then tonight, clear skies down to 34 degrees for a low temperature. Winds will also lighten up after midnight down to less than 10 miles per hour here by tomorrow morning. One of the reasons why we're going to be so cold here overnight with the clear skies and the light winds, allowing for those chillier temperatures. Now, also happening here tonight is the full moon. If you want to check it out, it's going to be rising at 5:13 this evening, and it's known as the beaver moon. So that's the full moon for November, and this was around the time of year when the beavers are a bit more active, getting ready for winter, of course, and also back in the time of fur trading, there was a lot of fur trapping going on, so that's why it's known as the beaver moon. But it's also super moon, so it's going to appear a little bit bigger and brighter in the evening sky, again, if you want to check it out. And if you missed tonight's super moon, you'll have another chance, as December's full moon is also a supermoon. So that's going to happen in early December. But as we go through the forecast, again, we are tracking a lot of things happening here over the course of the next several days. Cold front number 1 coming in this afternoon, this evening, knocking our temperatures down here for tomorrow. See another return to low 60s here for Friday, but then another cold front will arrive, and that will start to knock our temperatures down as we head into Saturday, as we see that rain, those showers and storms building in for Friday evening. So again, a 10 weather impact alert has been issued for that. That all clears out, and then we have another surge of colder air on Sunday in the morning, actually. So our temperature Saturday night will actually get to 46 degrees. And then we briefly get to 48 in the morning, and then the colder air arrives. So our temperatures will actually be dropping through the day Sunday. So by Sunday evening, we are down into the 30s, and we are on our way to the upper 20s here by Monday morning. And you can see the icon there for Monday. We are watching that potential for some snow flurries here across the area. Like I said, though, it's nothing to write home about. It's not going to be a big storm. It's not going to bring us any accumulation, but we are going to have to watch that for early next week. And really just more cold air is really what we have to focus in on, as we are looking at highs only in the 30s. Our normal high for mid-November is around the mid to upper 50s. So we are talking about temperatures about 15 to almost 20 degrees colder going into Monday and Tuesday. So enjoy today. Enjoy tomorrow, because big changes are on the way. And as we talk about changes, of course, with the seasons changing, going from fall into winter, we are looking ahead to the winter season and how things are going to shape up. So meteorologist Meredith Garfalo has some insight into La Nina.
A lot of times when we're talking about La Nina and El Nino, it's referencing hurricane season and how the global climate pattern can influence how busy it might be. It's basically the fluctuations of ocean temperatures in the central and eastern Pacific. But in addition to affecting the tropics, it can impact our seasons as well. For example, this winter we are in a La Nina, which would mean a typically wetter pattern. But as of now, we are trending warmer than average temperatures. In fact, we'll also see higher than average precip with where the forecast is for us. Now remember, this would be the average for the winter, not the daily forecast. Now, for example, if the average high on a given day is 32 degrees, that would be higher than that. And where the temperature goes will determine if precipitation falls as rain, snow, or a wintry mix. Now, there's some indication that we could shift back to more of a neutral pattern heading into the end of winter, which would mean a more typical Midwest fashion as we kick off 2026. So be prepared for everything, because you know we live in Central Ohio and we can definitely see it all.
And of course, with any variations in the storm track, it could lead to more or potentially even less snowfall. And Columbus actually averages about 28 inches of snowfall through the winter season. So of course, we will be monitoring it as we get a little bit closer, and of course, watching those snowflakes here for early next week. And finally today, let's go ahead and check out some video into us here. This first one coming up is actually the full moon rising over Sydney, Australia. Again, we're talking about the super moon here tonight. If you want to check it out here in Ohio, it's going to be rising at 5:13 this evening for Columbus, and you'll be able to see it for really several hours here through the night. It's going to look brighter. It's going to look a little bit bigger than the normal full moon, as again, it is a super moon. So it's actually a little bit closer to the Earth in the overall orbit as it goes around. And like I said earlier, if you miss tonight's supermoon, you'll still have another chance as we head into December. And one more video here for you. This one, really cool. We actually saw this yesterday. This is some more activity at the Kilauea volcano out there in Hawaii. It's actually been having regular episodes just like this. You can see the lava flow there, really active with the Kilauea volcano. And they've actually had an episode going on since back in December of 2024. And so there's a lot of different activity like this where you have the lava flows, and you also have some even lava fountains where it actually gets a little bit more active. We actually saw that just a few weeks ago back in October. So some activity there. Again, this is not going to be causing any problems. This is regular occurrence that happens all the time out there in Hawaii, but just pretty dramatic to be watching there with all that lava. And of course, this is all coming in from the United States Geological Survey, as they are, of course, have those webcams there monitoring all that activity for the folks out there in Hawaii and at Volcanoes National Park there in Hawaii. So that'll do it for us here today. Again, we are watching a lot of activity here for us as well in Ohio. The rain coming up on Friday, the colder air here for the weekend, and of course that little chance for some snow flurries by Sunday and Monday. So that'll do it for us here today on the 10 Weather Impact Show here on 10 TV Plus. Coming up later on this afternoon, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz will be in with the latest forecast on the rain and that colder air coming in for the weekend. So until then, you can always catch more news and weather online at 10tv.com.